Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. We're once again in Stormworks working on our carrier build. This one we are going to be putting together a small little workshop right off of the engine room. I do apologize, the beginning of the recording got a little messed up, so we're jumping right into it, right into the build. For those of you who are not following along, this is just right off of our engine room. It's on our main floor, and to the other side of that wall on the right is a cargo lift. So we don't have a lot of space to work with, but it's something I definitely wanted to get into the ship. I think it's pretty important, kind of a fun little feature to have. So we're going to be cramming a workshop, like I said. But if you guys like this series, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Keep coming back for more. I know this series has been going on for a while, guys. We are getting there. Should only be probably only a couple more weeks. I can tell you that for those of you who are new, we have a building challenge going on. For those of you who aren't, get your submissions in, guys. The challenge is over tomorrow. So yeah, unfortunately, there's not a ton of time left in the challenge, but if you do have a submission, just remember to submit it tomorrow. The 27th is the last date for our plane challenge submission. Also, if you have any questions, by the way, definitely just kind of ask one of us in the Discord, ask me or one of the mods. We have a channel dedicated to just talking about the submissions, as well as a channel just for your submissions. So if you guys haven't checked out our Discord yet, definitely check that out. I'll leave a link down below. It's a really good place to kind of make some friends and learn about Stormworks and whatnot. But I'm going to quit yapping. I'm going to speed this time lapse up. Right now, we are just kind of working on figuring out how to level these different floors. I end up going with a cargo lift, but yeah, guys, I'm going to let the build go a little bit in our typical fashion, and then I'll come back to you and we'll talk a little bit more about what we've done. All right, well, that was definitely a lot of paint blocks, so I'm sorry, but it's also kind of necessary. In my mind, it's necessary anyways. I mean, that's a lift. You definitely don't want to block it. But we're going to move on to the actual workshop now. And I just kind of wanted to cut in and say a lot of the machines that we're going to add to this, I've just taken from my other creations that I've already made. So you're probably going to see a lot of like in and out, but we're going to just try to copy and paste them. I don't feel the need to completely remake a drill press that I've already made in the past, or a lathe or whatnot. I will say shout out to Jack, one of our Discord mods. He made a sandblaster. It's on the workshop if you want to download it, but he made a sandblaster that's really small. It fits into the left side of that hallway, which is only a couple blocks wide. But anyways, yeah, he made that and that looks good. But we are going to get into adding a belt grinder and a drill press and a lathe, and then also a sandblaster. And then I'm going to go kind of do more paint block work. I know it's been a lot of paint blocks in this one, but I'm going to do more paint block work and kind of add like a pegboard wall filled with tools. I think a workshop typically would probably be a lot larger on a carrier, just because you're not only fixing the ship, you're fixing airplanes. But it's not really a feature that's usable in Stormworks, so it's more kind of for decorative purposes. So it's not huge on purpose in the ship. I just kind of wanted to have a small basic one to say we have one. But realistically speaking, you would probably want a much larger workshop on something like an aircraft carrier, just because of the amount of service work that actually happens inside of the hangar bay and whatnot. But for what we're working with, this will do fine. It's just again, decoration for fun. Couple of the machines you can kind of play around with and move just for fun. But yeah, so we're gonna move on to that room now. And one of the things with this really was I was just trying to kind of maximize this space. So you'll see, I mean, really we're trying to turn a hallway into a full-on workshop. So it's not the easiest thing, but we definitely get a lot in here. I'm pretty happy with how much we get in here. But right here you can see this is a shop that I've copy and pasted from another one of my ships that I've made in the past. That one is called the Sedna. Also on my workshop, if you want to check it out, it's a giant recovery ship. Really cool. It's got like a hole right in the center deck with a crane, so you can lift things right below it in the water. There's cranes all over it. But yeah, so again, I didn't really feel the need to redo this. Here's our lathe going in right now, and we got it tucked up against that corner that we kind of made clearance from in the last episode, just right off of the shower room. I'm going to make this water pipe go all the way back, just in case we need to kind of pull water from somewhere else. I do believe I get a water hookup in the workshop too, so you can have access to fresh water if you need to. Not necessary for Stormworks, but it's something you probably would want in a real shop. Especially on a ship, you wouldn't want to be have access to seawater in the shop, as it would make everything rust. But another kind of funny, goofy side note is this workshop is built right above all of our munition storage, which is a pretty poor design, if I'm being honest. You really would not want that. There's a lot of sparks and potential for fire in a workshop, so putting it right next to the ammo depot, not a great idea. But we're working with what we got on this ship. There's not a ton of space. It's it is a carrier, but it's a pretty small one. So just disregard that. Try not to have any fires in the workshop, guys. It'll probably end very badly if you have anything down in the munitions storage. But here we go. We're gonna get our drill press pasted in. Real simple, all of these. I didn't go crazy. None of them have like XML parts or anything. Just kind of fun little, you get the point, machines. And then here is our belt grinder. So I don't think I get the sandblaster in this episode. I do believe I recorded this and then Jack made it and then I added it in. But if you just kind of check out Jack's workshop page, you should be able to find it. I know it'd probably be tricky to find his specific page because his name is literally Jack. But he's in our Discord. He's a co-creator on my optical landing guide too. So if you just click on that, that's an easy way to get to his profile. But it's a lot of work for a sandblaster. I know, guys, crazy. But yeah, that's that. I added a little buzzer and an alarm to the sandblaster. There's a throttle there that actually works, so you can move. That's a tank track, but you can move that and it'll spin and kind of look like a belt grinder. But the rest of the buttons on these don't really do anything. Right here, I'm adding in what is supposed to be like a small bench vise. Doesn't look super like a bench vise, but again, I didn't want to go crazy with the detailing on these. Just, I mean, there's so much other stuff going on in the ship that, you know, this is more of a good enough is perfect kind of an area of the ship. And right here, I am just kind of adding a wall of tools. And like I said, we have our pegboard wall filled with fake paint block tools. We got a couple hacksaws and wrenches and it looks like a few hammers and screwdrivers and whatnot. But that was just a fun little addition. Obviously, in real life, you repair things with a lot more than just a welding torch. So I wanted to add those and make it seem like there was a lot more tools than just welders on the ship. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a pretty easy way to kind of go about our workshop, and it was nice just because I could copy and paste a lot of the stuff. I didn't have to remake it. The only tricky part was obviously pulling the entire workshop out of the Sedna, but now I have it. Everything's in there. Now I can use it going forward and whatnot. So we only have a few more things to do. I know this episode's been a little bit of a slower, less actiony one, just because a lot of it's kind of paint blocks and copy and pasting. But I did want you guys to see this just because I think the workshop ended up really good, and we've documented the rest of the build, so might as well add this too. But I'm just going to add a few lights in here, and then as I stated earlier, I'm going to add a freshwater hookup and a power hookup for cables, which I don't really know what you're going to be charging down there, but I figured if you do manage to get anything in there, you might want to charge it. So definitely power is something that is required in a lot of workshops, and so I decided to add that. And while I was on that, I kind of added a bunch of other charging ports around the ship because I figured that would also be useful, but that doesn't happen on camera. But yeah, guys, that is just about it for the workshop. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. We, as per usual, we'll get this spawned into the world, and I'll walk around in the actual workshop so you can check it out. But yeah, if you were wondering, the belt grinder kind of goes under that air duct or further down the hallway, more towards the lift. But yeah, guys, that's, like I said, pretty much all the building. I'm just adding a few more finishing touches, and we will get it into the overworld here, and I will show it off. So here we are. I'm just waiting for it to load in, giving it a nice stare at the ground. But yeah, here comes the performance warnings. But we're good. You can see it's not really slowing the game down all that much. A lot of performance warnings, but it's still running the simulation speed high, so that's good. But yeah, here's our lift. I added a nice little light to it. There's lights in the rest of the engine bay. We'll get into that in another episode. But the engine bay is absolutely massive. It's hilarious. It's spooky down here when you have the lights off. But yeah, we'll head into our workshop. The lights are only on this side. But yeah, pretty crammed in here. It has pretty much everything you need. You got a large bench space, a belt grinder, a vise, a lathe, a drill press, a couple tools. So it's not you know, the world's best workshop, but it is a workshop, and we definitely have one. So here's that hookup I added and the little table I was talking about. So that table, that's where we end up adding that belt grinder. But yep, freshwater works good. Couple little bits of tool storage. But yeah, guys, that's all we got for this one. So again, if you made it to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It helps us out a lot. Don't forget to hit a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I know this one was a little slower, but that's all we got for today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.